situation soon. Thanks a lot for joining in. That's Kajaria Ceramics saying that the environment has become quite tough, and in fact now they have scaled down their guidance for the full year. Earlier their guidance was 15 to 20% revenue growth. Now they're looking at about 10 to 11%. So they are definitely facing pressure. But let's move on and talk to CG Power. The company posted good Q3 earnings. Revenue growth was 14%. Margins have also expanded owing to better price realization, higher volumes and a moderation in input costs. N. Srinivasan, the Managing Director at CG Power and Industrial Solutions, joins us now to talk about that. Mr. Srinivasan, thanks a lot for joining in. I want to first start by asking you about what the opportunities are that you see as we move along over the next couple of years. A slightly, bird's eye view, because the government is doing a lot, whether it's in areas of railways, electrification, manufacturing, defense. So can you give us some, myopic view on what your own business could seek in terms of an opportunity over the next couple of years?
So, we operate in three segments: electric motors, power systems and railways. All the three businesses have multiple levers of growth. Motors, actually, we have already announced an expansion and we have already gone on record. For the next 3 years, we'll be able to grow about 15 to 20% the top line. This is only for domestic demand. We're also focusing on exports. As far as the power systems are concerned, the transformer and switchgear, these are the two main products we manufacture. Transformer industry is in a very big boom. Our order book, if you see, currently is at, for transformer and switchgear is about 2,300 crores. Overall order book is about 4,100 crores, which is 34% higher than last year. Transformer is in a boom both in domestic as well as an export. The entire Ukraine power grid has to be rebuilt, and then there is a number of teams from Ukraine is traveling within India. So we have also announced an expansion of the transformer capacity for about 125 crores, which when completed will give about 1,000 crores. But this is hardly adequate to meet the surging demand. This demand can continue for about 4 to 5 years. Entire industry is going through a boom. Almost all the transformer manufacturers will have a solid demand. As far as railways is concerned, as far as the projects, railways are the opportunity is enormous. Railways have announced 1 lakh crore capex to be implemented over about 6 to 7 years. And we are in the product business of railways. Therefore, our opportunity will nevertheless be about 10 to 15%. We can, in normal growth is possible. But once you have technology, we have got some kind of a tab with somebody, then if you participate in the project, for example, in the Vande Bharat train opportunity, the expansion of locos, etc., opportunity is very high.
Okay, all right. Sorry, just one follow-up. You said there's 1 lakh crore capex for railways that's underway, and a 10-15% normal growth in railways is what you are looking at. Can you tell us what exactly is the order book in the railways segment right now, and what would it be, say, a year down?
So railways, we are into products. We manufacture the motors, signals, signaling products, etc. So these products are just generally supplied over a period of 1 year based on annual tender. Right now, our order book is about close to about 1,000 crores, which can take care of for the next 9 months. But again, the tenders keep on coming every 3 months continuously. But by the project orders, what we mean, the capex orders are actually for for example, Vande Bharat train, 200 trains are already a tender has been floated and then responded. In the current budget, we are expecting more announcements. So these are large value items. That is where the capex orders comes in.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Srinivasan, and congratulations on a rather good set of numbers. If I look at your 9-month numbers, you're growing at close to around 27%. Given that Q4 is quite solid, will you end this year for a consolidated entity closer to around 7,000 crores? And on that base, what kind of a growth can you deliver? That's point number one. Point number two is on the margins front. Pleasant surprise coming in there. The last time we chatted, you were talking about 13.5% odd. Your main industrial systems business, that's as well, delivered very good margins. So what is the consolidated margin guidance that we should be working with? Go ahead, sir.
No, first is, we don't generally give any forecast. 7,000 crores looks up here, looks higher actually. Somewhere near to 6,000 plus, I think we can do for this year. Margins are concerned, the second quarter margins, which surged by about 4%, was a bit of a surprise. And I mentioned it's a one-off thing. It can come down by 2% in this quarter. But surprisingly, this is maintained during this quarter. Sustainable margins, I would put it about 2% lower than what we are currently getting.
Okay, all right. So that would be, so what, around 14% or?
14% looks achievable now.
14% should be the steady state. And also, sir, on the top line, you've already done 5,100 crores. So, 7,000 may be a tall ask, but it should be in the vicinity of around 6,600, 6,700. Should that be a rough number?
6,000 plus, I think I don't put big numbers actually.
On that base, what is the growth then for the consolidated entity?
So I think year on year, I have gone on record that we'll be able to minimum double-digit growth, anything between 15 to 20%.
Okay. All right. The 15-20% on a year-on-year basis. Mr. Srinivasan, you mentioned budget briefly, so I have to ask you that. Anything specific you're expecting from the budget tomorrow for the railways business?
So, see, a lot of announcements can come. More sectors can be opened up for PPP or also for private sector. That's what I expect from railways. So a couple of things I want to add. This quarter we have become debt free. We have had 200 crores of NCDs which we have redeemed, and we are carrying a surplus cash of 700 crores. This highlights for this quarter.
Sure. No, can you explain that a little bit? I mean, the stock market are always very excited about railway capex as a theme. You would have noticed. So I'm just yeah, go on.
Yeah. So on the Vande Bharat, I think we are expecting a big announcement. First time the government actually announced the entire trains to be built by private sector, and 200 trains tender was floated. So now I think more announcement here. Another 400 trains announcements is being expected by the market.
So I just had one follow-up. You said that 200 trains tenders out already, right, on Vande Bharat?
Correct.
Another 400 trains announcement is expected, is it? By when?
So announcement can come in the budget, and immediately railways can work on release the tender because they have. So
the execution will happen in FY24 is what we're looking at.
So these are long lead items. It will take about 2 to 3 years to complete the train.
Okay.
Mr. Srinivasan, any update on the EV motors manufacturing plans? I think you were looking at a JV partner, technology partner out there. If you could give us some color.
No, work in progress. Not formed up anything. Discussions are going on with at least 3 or 4 players. So
in the next couple of quarters, should we hear by the middle of 2023?
We are aiming for that. Let us see.
Okay, all right, Mr. Srinivasan, all the best. Thanks a lot for joining in, and all the best for the budget as well. Let's see what comes through on the railways front. It has been a big focus area for the government. That's CG Power saying that there's a 1 lakh crore capex that's underway from the government in the railway sector, and they could be big beneficiaries of that. They are expecting a 10 to 15% normal growth in terms of their railways order. Currently, the order book for just for railways, which is one of their segments, is about 1,000 crores, and the Vande Bharat order is one of them. So that's going to be a stock to watch tomorrow during the budget announcements as well. Let's take a quick break on that note. On the other side, Mitesh Thakur of earningwaves.com will join in for some technical trades. Do stay tuned in.